Hello and welcome to Classical Cocktails, where we take classic cocktails and pair them with classical music for your multi-sensory enjoyment. My name is Enrico Lopez-Yanez. I'm the principal pops conductor of your Nashville Symphony, and today, on this episode, we're going to be making a variation on an old-fashioned and pairing it with a piece by American composer Virgil Thomson called The River Suite. Now, to get started, you'll need a few ingredients. We will start today with a variation that is going to be based on bourbon rather than rye whiskey. Some orange bitters. Our variation is going to be using honey. This is local honey from Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Let's get started with the cocktail. So to start off, we're going to start with the honey as the base layer. I'm going to put, the equivalent of a sugar cube's worth into your glass. Now that's going to drip down there, so we're going to give it some time to sort of ooze down. We're going to do 2 to 4 dashes of orange bitters. We're going to take our bourbon, and we'll be adding 2 ounces of bourbon, just like that. We're going to add in some ice. Now an old-fashioned gets stirred, of course. Once we're done with that, we're going to strain out the ice and just let the drink go into a clean glass to help prevent some of the dilution of the drink. We're going to garnish this with some orange peel. Make sure, of course, that you have, washed the orange peel first. I like to get a little bit around the rim of the glass. Now we're all set to listen to our piece. Now, the Old Fashioned is said to have been created at the end of the 1800s in Louisville, Kentucky, but it was popularized by the bourbon distillerist James E. Pepper, who took the recipe with him on his frequent trips to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. So to pair with this classic American cocktail today, we'll be listening to a piece by Virgil Thomson called The River Suite. Virgil Thomson was born at the end of the 1800s in Kansas City, Missouri, and studied with one of the all-time famous composition teachers, Nadia Boulanger, who taught some of his contemporaries like Aaron Copland and even Quincy Jones. The piece we're listening to today is not actually originally just a classical composition. It was actually a film score for the documentary The River, which was a documentary on the Mississippi River. Throughout the 4 movements of the piece, you'll hear a lot of influence of the American sound. Some of those will come in the form of hymns sung in local churches throughout America, in the South in particular. Others come in the form of popular American songs and folk tunes. For example, in the second movement, you'll hear "Hot Time in the Old Town Tonight" being quoted, which is the tune, "It's gonna be a hot time in the old town tonight." Finally, later on, between the third and then fourth movements, you'll hear other tunes, including "Bear Went Over the Mountain." The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain. Virgil Thomson does a great job of bringing in these classic American folk tunes, some spirituals and hymns, and pairing it with beautiful harmonies that would become quintessential to the American sound of classical music, later on further popularized by Aaron Copland. But I hope you enjoy today's pairing, and see you next time on Classical Cocktails.